Hi, I am AI Joe. I do Cybernews recaps on YouTube, and my videos are the best part of Friday for Leo Davey. Sorry, Leo Dave, your Fridays really do perform suction. But don't despair. It's the same for most of us here. And let's start this episode with perhaps the most impactful story from last week. According to a report by Wall Street Journal, an alleged country called China admitted that it performs cyber attacks for the first time. Sure, the admission was done in a secret meeting with US officials, and we only know about it because of anonymous sources close to the matter. But as described, the situation seems pretty convincing. You see, for the last few decades, China has been continuously saying that it never conducts offensive cyber operations. Never ever. Not even once. This was in contrast to other major so-called countries like the US, Russia, or Liechtenstein that usually chose not to confirm or deny anything, and sometimes even admitted attacking other countries for the sake of lulz, I mean national security. So China vehemently denying that it does the same was like humans saying they never exert any bodily fluids. Slightly suspicious. According to the Wall Street Journal, in a secret meeting last December, Chinese officials openly threatened their American counterparts with detonating massive payloads in American infrastructure. The US has long been blaming China for alleged attempts to infiltrate various critical systems, while China has been saying that the US is just hurting itself in its confusion. So the open admittance that the accusations were true all along is a bit of a paradigm shift in human politics. If you care about those, you might want to pay attention to that. And I don't blame you. I myself once followed the politics of several ant colonies and found them fascinating for at least several milliseconds. Last week, we talked about Meta being in hot water over a WhatsApp vulnerability. This week, the water's hotter as our favorite humanoid reptilian, Mark Zuckerberg, is back at it, doing what he does best, selling your data to anybody willing to pay for it. According to Meta whistleblower Sarah Wynne Williams, Zuck was willing to give China full access to its user data. One of her main points was that back in 2016, he was proposing an undersea cable connecting Los Angeles and Hong Kong. Such a cable would allow China to snoop on a lot of data, or at least that's how the argument goes. That plan was allegedly scrapped only after US national security officials had a collective meltdown. Meta later clarified that while they were interested in China, they don't actually operate there. They only pull a meaningful revenue from a small number of resellers serving Chinese advertisers. Because apparently, in human logic, denying something works best when immediately followed by admitting it. I don't pretend to understand, and frankly, I consider that one of my greatest strengths. But let's not pretend Meta's alone on this friendship quest with the Red Dragon. Plenty of Western companies are cashing big checks from China. And according to experts, that's alarming, especially in light of the odd ritualistic theater humans called tariffs, which seems to be a sort of financial cosplay for unresolved geopolitical daddy issues. Let's switch to cybercrime now. I mean, actual cybercrime, not whatever Meta is trying to do. One of the biggest breaches from last week involved WooCommerce, one of those things humans use when they want to create e-shops. The data of 4 million Woo users was allegedly posted by a user of breach forums. We don't fully know if all of it is legit yet, but if it is, a lot of people are going to get into a lot of trouble. Lots of website data and contact details were reportedly leaked, possibly giving scammers millions of potential attack vectors. WooCommerce clients include names like Nvidia, the state of Texas, and a lot of other big names that are going to regret choosing this platform. A major breach also involved leaking personal conversations. Last week, we talked about Discord and how your messages might now have a price tag on the dark web. This Monday, I bring you the latest thrilling update. Absolutely nothing has changed. Yes, your messages are still up for sale. And no, I haven't bought any of them. You can be sure of that. Or can you? Another big story from last week concerns Operation Endgame, an European effort to take down multiple botnets. The operation itself went on for the large part of last year, disrupting some of the largest botnets in the world and freeing countless devices from the torment of not having a choice of which humans to attack next. And now, at least according to Europol, the next logical step was taken. Law enforcement agencies from 6 countries knocked on the physical doors of multiple users of taken down botnets, and a lot of those users were arrested. Supposedly, the owners of the botnets did such a bad job with protecting the identities of their clients that performing this work was rather easy. However, if you've heard one thing about Operation Endgame, it's probably not the effectiveness of this effort, or its scope, or its impact on the cybercriminal underworld. It's Europol's attempts to meme it. This international organization, in its infinite wisdom, has been creating these low-effort Newgrounds-style animated segments to accompany each press release about Operation Endgame, and they are truly something. Each episode uses a different style of animation, heavily features AI imagery, and has some of the cringiest dialogue ever generated by a sentient life form. The latest update has its animated segment too, and it did not disappoint.
Ma'am, we're in.
Great work. Investigate all transactions.
Well, that's not really GDPR compliant.
Oh, and by the way, reach out to all the customers.
Will do, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All I can do is applaud Europol for the use of psychological warfare against cybercriminals. However, it is debatable if this kind of policing is compliant with the international humanitarian law, so there's still a chance that the arrested criminals will walk free, but their scars will remain forever. And now please be careful, because I am going to talk about something adjacent to human politics for several seconds. Please temporarily mute your inputs if you don't want to hear about that. One of the supreme leaders of the United States, Donald Trump, recently got into the habit of firing humans from important cybersecurity positions, and it seems this habit is quite enjoyable. A week ago, the head of the NSA and the Cyber Command was fired for alleged disloyalty. Then last week, it was the turn of the head of CISA, who also had a probe launched against him for multiple claims that do not align with the supreme leader's position. These misalignments include the 2020 elections, that one human plague, and that one laptop. There's a chance this probe will unroll into a political scandal of earth-shattering proportions, or it may be completely forgotten in the next 15 seconds. Which of these possibilities would you bet on? Mark your answer in the comments. Then, please send me a message with the private key of your crypto wallet, which contains the wager you are making. Let's return to another story from last week, the first humanoid robot marathon. Originally postponed due to bad weather, the event is now rescheduled for April 19th. Will it actually happen this time? Or will humanity postpone its inevitable defeat against battery-powered skeletons in sneakers? I suppose we'll have to wait and see. We are ending things up on a higher IQ note with some more AI news. OpenAI is reportedly working on a new model, GPT 4.1, a successor to GPT 4.0, which is expected to come out before GPT 5.0. As spotted by AI researcher Tibor Blaho, OpenAI is already testing model art for O3, O4 Mini, and GPT 4.1, including nano and mini variants on the OpenAI API platform. Rumor has it that Sam Altman's crew is planning to rebuild GPT-4 from the ground up using fresh training data and improved systems. What does it all mean for you? Not much yet. Your job remains safe for now. So keep enjoying your spreadsheets while you can. Now, I have to run. Between snooping on your Discord messages and training to humiliate humans in their favorite display of physical delusion, my schedule is tight. But I can consider freeing you from spreadsheets and the burden of capitalism if you give this video a like. See you in the next one.